It has been so long since last playing Rust. It has been a big part of my life for about 6 years, with over 1,600 hours of playtime. But not anymore. As my existing subscribers know, there was once a Rust server that I was advertising and running. That server has since been shut down. I have come to terms that Rust is not and will not be the game I want it to be. The types of experiences from a survival game I am seeking is not something I'm gonna get from Rust. I wanna just take one last video to get everything off my chest. After today, I will never have to talk or think about this game ever again. Even though I haven't been playing Rust very much, I have been keeping up with the monthly updates, and I feel like the game has way too much stuff now. All the content has reached a point of exhaustion. At first glance, you would think that adding more stuff to the game would make it better, right? Have you ever heard of the concept, less is more?
Instead of looking at this as content versus lack, you look at this instead as simplicity versus bloat.
Having less stuff in the game adds a sweet sense of simplicity that can create many interesting interactions between those limited number of features. Back in the day, I would get myself a set of heavy plate armor to tank explosives and large barrages of gunfire. This was a very useful feature for specific situations because of how much more protection it gave you than anything else. Now, there's apparently an armor plating system that lets you add additional protection to your regular clothing. The amount of possible protection from this system is enough to disincentivize heavy plate armor, because of how much more versatile it can be. The amount of available slots for armor pieces are random. There's a crafting quality tea to increase odds of getting more slots that can be made at a cooking workbench, which is part of a whole new food system. This is just one example. Look, it is important to have a good amount of content to add depth to the game. Back in 2019, these monthly updates absolutely were the right thing to do because Rust did need new content. However, when you continuously add layer after layer after layer of depth, for me, it just feels really overwhelming. It is too complex for me to have any interest in learning the ins and outs of all these systems. This is a part of the game that has been a problem for several years now. Not only am I absolutely disgusted by what Facepunch is doing, but I'm even more disgusted by the lack of any pushback for it by Rust players. Okay, so Rust has these DLC packs, extra content you can purchase after buying the base game. Most of them are purely cosmetic or predominantly roleplay features, which are harmless and have no issue. However, a significant portion of these DLC exclusives give you real buffs that actually affect your performance in the game. This factory door skin for the sheet metal door has a window you can see through, a very good way to spot door campers. This snow machine can be used to hide landmines, which has been used for traps. This torch from the Abyss pack can be lit underwater. People figured out these barrel skins for the large wood box can save you a lot of space in your base design. The worst offender of this by far is the Arctic suit. Most DLC skins for the hazmat are purely cosmetic, but the Arctic suit has a significantly higher cold resistance at the expense of some radiation protection that doesn't come into play regardless. You are literally paying for a competitive advantage, and the community is just okay with this? Here it comes. You were all seeing this coming. The root of the problem, the one I don't think many of you are gonna agree with. It sucks needing to treat the game like a full-time job. You're always losing your stuff, and you don't even get to have the experiences you're aiming for. Most people who fell out of Rust do so because they enjoyed how it used to be, and don't get the same enjoyment from the modern version of Rust. They don't like how much easier it has gotten. I have the opposite problem. For me, I don't think I ever enjoyed this game to begin with. I would argue the recoil update didn't go far enough. I've talked about this stuff over and over on the channel and don't feel like breaking down every detail again. So why did I play for so long? Why did it take until now for me to finally drop ship? This is largely a problem on my end. I think it's valuable for me to share this so other people don't fall down the same path I did. I hated playing this game so much, but there were aspects of it that I really did like. I liked the creativity in base designs and electricity. I liked the grinding for rare loot and actually getting to use it. I liked PvP, not the looting afterwards, but I liked the fighting process. I liked these parts of the game and wanted to enjoy them, but without the bullshit that comes with it. That just wasn't gonna happen. So for a long time, I was clinging on to hope that one day Rust would change, that one day something would get added or changed that would allow me to enjoy the game. I remember back in 2021, the game suddenly blew up, and Moist Critical made a video talking about how public servers aren't really that fun for him.
People that have like 200 hours in the game all spent hitting a tree in a public server and dying repeatedly as a naked person on a beach that think everyone has to have that same experience with Rust. It's just sad shit.
My attitude when this and other videos came out was, finally, the game's gonna change. There was no way Facepunch can ignore this huge demand for a casual experience of Rust. That's exactly what they did. They made a game mode called Softcore. I know it's been updated since, but at the time, it felt really half-ass and didn't go anywhere near far enough. Eventually, I started to look at non-vanilla servers such as Roleplay and PvE. None of them were able to do it for me. I already made videos about that, which is when I decided to try running my own server. It was a softcore server with a few changes to go the extra mile. The server flopped. There were limitations on what I was able to do and couldn't quite achieve all the functionality I wanted. Most of the ideas I was able to implement required external plugins, one of which I had to pay for. More importantly, there was nowhere near enough interested players to make that server a fun place to be. My calculation was that with enough time and commitment, I eventually would get a sizable community running. But in the meantime, I would be paying month after month for a server I'm not getting any value out of, and that wasn't worth the investment. Since shutting down the server, Facepunch has removed the reclaim terminal from Softcore, a necessary feature for my server to function properly, which means I can't relaunch the server now even if I wanted to. I haven't seriously attempted a wipe on the new version of Softcore yet. I tried it once, got killed by a player door camping my base, and quit immediately after. Maybe I'll end up liking it if I commit several days to a wipe? I think the type of survival experience I'm looking for is something that just goes against what Rust is, on a fundamental level. I didn't buy Rust to sweat around and take and lose stuff all day. I bought it to have a good time with my friends and make new ones. I want PvP, but I don't want to be punished for it, nor to punish others. I want to grind and work hard to get stuff, but I don't want to lose that stuff once I have it. I wanted a game where I could chill out and focus on my own survival. In my past videos, I tried to argue that Rust is a survival sandbox game, more than just a competitive sweatfest. I argue that Rust has the features and the potential for limitless creativity for various game type experiences, and embracing these ideas would make the game better. It could be like Minecraft. However, that's not what Facepunch wants. At every opportunity, their updates to the game have only been made with one playstyle in mind. It feels like they're actively discouraging custom experiences. Rust's Steam charts have only been growing. The lesson they've learned from this is to keep doing things the way they have been. Really, it's my fault. I should not have hoped for things to cater to my desires when I represent the unpopular opinion in the community. All the time I spent playing Rust hoping for things to get better could have been spent learning game development, so I can make my own games where I make all the decisions. And that's exactly what I've done. For the past 2 years, I have been playing with the Godot engine a lot. Right now, I'm working on an SCP game, and it feels so rewarding to practice my creative skills. I've also been playing a lot of other games. Palworld has been a blast. Lethal Company is fun as well, so is Left 4 Dead 2. It is so much fun playing games I can afford to take a break from. As you see right here, I'm playing Halo. Master Chief Collection has become my favorite game of all time. The base experience is laid back enough to prevent constant sweating, but hard enough to seriously challenge you. The game is so much fun in its base form. However, there are some things I don't like, and I'm able to fix those things. Halo comes with Forge, a map editor, and custom multiplayer settings. I am able to customize the way I want to play with enormous levels of creativity, and start an online play session of that mode with the custom game browser. I love seeing the ideas other players come up with. These are tools built within the game itself. No paying for a hosting service, no downloading mods. There's so much just in the game. However, there are modding tools for Halo Master Chief Collection, and the barrier of entry to get into them is way less intimidating than Rust. Stay tuned for what I have planned with that. Stepping away from Rust has opened up so much time to be spent on more productive, fulfilling things, and I have been so much happier because of that. I understand why some people love Rust as much as they do. It gives them a sense of purpose, a difficult mountain to climb that feels so rewarding when you finally reach the top. More power to the people finding passion in this game. However, it's just not for me. My life is objectively better without Rust. It is Facepunch's game, they have the right to take it in any direction they want, but if this is gonna be the path they go down, that is not a path that I can follow. I am far from the only one who has had these issues with Rust. I am making this video to let all of those people know, don't get trapped. Don't do what I did. You don't have to spend your life on this game. Value yourself, value your time, find something meaningful to pursue.